Hi Capricorn, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carole. This is going to be a general reading for you for February 2026. And if you're new to my channel, I want to welcome you and let me know below if you've just found my channel. And hopefully you did subscribe so that these readings can get out to more people. And if you're coming back for another reading, I hope as well that you subscribe, and I want to thank you for supporting me. And so this reading this month, I sat down and was thinking about, what do I want to do for this reading? And the word authenticity came up, and right away I thought of, well, that's the Ace of Swords, if I had to pick one card in the deck. Because Ace of Swords is always that sword that's going to cut through that bullshit. All those conditionings and those belief systems that we have about ourselves. And so this reading, I'm hoping that with the overriding theme of authenticity, I want to help you get to a point where you start to see things exactly as they are and not, the way that we wish they would have turned out. And so it's going to be a reading where I'm going to ask you to really get honest with yourself. And sometimes that's going to require some emotions that we need to feel, and it's going to get uncomfortable, right? Life is uncomfortable. And when we start to get back into our body, and start to feel some of these emotions that we've been avoiding, well, it can get uncomfortable. And I want to bring you to a place where you start living and speaking from what's real for you and not what you were taught. And, not to keep believing what you were taught, these illusions and belief systems that we have about ourselves. And so in this reading, it's called Coming Back to Your Truth. And we're going to start to look at what illusions or false beliefs you're holding on to that need to be released. That's the first thing. And then secondly, we're going to do a little bit of shadow work. So I'm going to go into your childhood, your adolescence, and I'm going to look at what needs healing in order to release these belief systems that you're still holding on to. And sometimes we don't even know that we're holding on to this and that they're not us. Like, we can carry on our whole lives thinking this is us, and then we start to wake up to them and go, wow, I've been believing this all my life. And so we're going to kind of get to why and what needs healing around this. And then finally, we're going to look at what does the tarot suggest for you to start to reconnect to your true self. And I'll offer you as well either a video or a playlist from my other channel called Carole Cares. And that's going to help you as well if you want to have a look at that. To help you, this is a journey. So, and it's a process. You're not going to get the magic pill in this reading, but you're going to get a little bit of help anyway as to what's going on. So to begin with, I pulled 2 oracle cards for you before I came on. And one was from the Shaman's Dream. And this is they have a lot of themes around shamanism in here. And I like this. I was sort of drawn to it because I am a shamanic practitioner. And I do distance healing. And if you're ever interested in a healing from me, you can actually get a free consultation, 15 minutes. And you can talk about shamanism, or if you want to just talk about, shamanic healing, and if that would be maybe something you would be interested in that, there's a link in the description box for that consultation. And that's going to take you to my website, actually, carolecares.com. And then on that website, I also have a tarot section, and that's where I have some personal readings listed for you for tarot, if you're interested in that as well. So we're going to get started with the 2 oracle cards that I pulled out for you. And the first one was Lost Compass, getting back to integrity. And that's pulled from the Shaman deck, the Shaman's Dream deck. And this is talking about, the compass talks about direction. And in particular, it's talking about your intuition. Your intuition is a real beautiful feminine quality that all of us has. It has nothing to do with your gender. When I say feminine quality, it's something it's your inner guidance. It's your deep gut knowing, like following your gut. And so there's a real need for you to follow your intuition to get back to your center, your source, right? That's your grounded direction. And so it's asking you, well, it's time to get back to, because it says that sometimes we have to lose our bearings in order to get back to our truth. And so maybe you're feeling a bit lost right now. Maybe you need new counselors or therapists, or maybe you need new guidance on something. But it's asking you to really rely on your own inner guidance, your own inner compass, your intuition in order to get back to where you are. But the thing about intuition that maybe a lot of people don't know is that in order to get in touch with our own inner guidance, well, it's in our body. We have to be in our body. We can't be up here. We can't be somebody that's living from their ego self, from their mind up here. Our ego self is not our real self. You know, that has to step aside. Not go away, but step aside, and our true self comes out. But we have to be in our body to get in touch with that inner guidance, our intuition. And then you have the celestial card that comes out after that. And this card's come up quite often during these readings. And the celestial card comes out when it wants to remind you that you have all these divine energies around you. They're helping energies that are here for you. And maybe you're struggling with your purpose. Maybe you're like one of those people sitting around going like, what am I here for? And I think we're all meant to struggle with our purpose, right? Because we all don't know, and we doubt that we have these gifts, that every one of us is uniquely gifted in our own way, right? So this card wants you to hold on to that trust that you are being guided. And it's asking you not to give up, because, you know, maybe you are going through a lost period right now where you've kind of lost your way. But this card is saying, oh, you're being guided. You're being guided. So let's take a look at you know, maybe what's preventing you from, you know, getting in touch with your intuition. And because that's what it's asking you to get in touch with. So we're going to see what illusions or false beliefs you're holding on to right now. I'm going to use the Curious Travels Tarot deck. I'm going to start off with that. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to shuffle it just a bit here. This is how I shuffle my cards. Because I don't want to, I can shuffle the other way, but I've realized that it bends my cards too much, and this just does such a great job. So I'm just going to shuffle them right now. So let's start off with, I'm gonna clarify this with the Tarot of the E-Weight, but let's start off with what illusion or false belief, one card that Capricorn is holding on to right now that needs to be released. Well, you have the Five of Pentacles, and that was sideways, almost going up, you know, in reverse here. So the Five of Pentacles, that's definitely a card that tells me a lot. What needs healing in order to let this go? And that's going to, I think, really tell me a lot about why you're feeling lost. Lover's card came out for the your childhood, your adolescence. That's what needs healing. Now that card just came out my last reading for Aquarius, and it's not a card that I see often. So this is probably the second time I've seen it in this reading, and the reading's for everyone. What does the tarot suggest for reconnecting to your true self? Oh, you have the Knight of Swords. Very appropriate for what's going on here. Okay, let's take, excuse me. I think I'm being called to use this one. The Radiant Rider-Waite deck. And I'm just going to, for some reason, I usually have these shuffled when I come on. I just forgot to shuffle them. All right, so we're going to start off with the Five of Pentacles. I'm going to ask for a couple clarifiers for that. Here's one. There we go. Okay, so you have the Death card and the Knight of, another Knight, but this time the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And the Lover's card. A couple clarifiers for that one. Well, that one flipped up and then it went back in. Oh, there we go. So you have the Two of Swords and the Temperance card underneath the Lover's card. Knight of Swords in reverse. Couple cards. Woo! Those came out. Boom, boom. Okay. Love when that happens. Tower and then the Magician card in reverse. Two powerful energies here for you. Two major arcana cards right at the end. That's nice. Okay. So you start off with the illusion or false belief that you have about yourself. Well, this was sideways here. You know, I'm wondering if sometimes when it's sideways, it's, you know, it could go like reverse. It could go the other way as well. But I'm wondering if, like, first of all, the Five of Pentacles is this little child here that has just broken his beautiful pentacle. And he has all these hands reaching out to help him. You know, maybe they have an extra pentacle. Maybe they have another one. Maybe, you know, they want to help him. And it's like you can't even see people reaching out. It's like when we get into that place where we're just so... this is a card of real feeling really unworthy about yourself. Like nobody cares. Nothing seems to matter anymore. I mean, you know, you did start off with you feeling like, you know, you're lost right now, right? You're not seeing what direction to go in. And we can get into that. It's almost like, you know, maybe you're sitting with some depression right now. You're going in and out of it where we just feel like, you feel like shit and you feel really lost. You feel like nobody cares, nobody matters. You can feel quite alone as well when we're lost like that. And, you know, and that's why I think you got that Celestial card for you to say, you know, don't give up. Don't give up. And you just don't, when you get into that space, you don't see that people are there. You don't see anybody around you. Like this card said, there's divine, you're being guided here, but you don't see that because that unworthiness is really covering that up. And so that's where you're sitting here with some real unworthiness. And there's the Death card comes in. And this card comes in when it tells you that there's certain people in our life maybe, or certain things in our life that need to go, like they need to die. But I feel like it's talking about what needs to go now is this unworthiness, this false belief or illusion that you have about yourself, that you're not worth anything, that you don't have anything to offer, like there's nothing for you to do, there's nowhere for you to go, and that you're all alone, and you're not all alone, and that needs to go. It really is time, I think, and that's why this is sideways, because I think here that if it would turn in reverse, and that would mean to me is that, you know, that really has gotten to a state of sometimes where some people can, like, it's really difficult for them to come back. But I think there's, it's coming back here. I think your direction is going to come here for you. And this is what this reading is about, is how are we going to get you clarity now to see that, yeah, there is light here at the end of the tunnel for you. And then the next card you get is this Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And the knights in my deck talk about, I call them my freedom fighters. They're that part of you, and everybody has that, the part that wants freedom. It wants freedom from pain. It wants freedom to be themselves, freedom to be authentic, do what they want to do. They don't want people telling us what we want to do. Maybe there is somebody in your life, I don't know, that you need to let go of that is really controlling right now. And, you know, if we're feeling that unworthy, it's going to be hard for us to step out and feel like we have the confidence, or, you know, that we're worth, you know, something. And this knight here, he has the pentacle in his hand, and the pentacle is about your body. And when he has that, I mean, this is a card that says, this pentacle right here holds your truth. It holds all your emotion. And the most important part about this pentacle, this body, he's holding, the pentacle means your body. It's the earth element. And for you, it's really I think a pull for you. It's freedom. It's wanting you to get back into your body, to get back to that self-love, because there's so much of you that feels unworthy right now, and you don't have that self-love. But the most critical part about self-love and getting back to that is grounding. And so there's a real need for you right now to get grounded. You're not grounded. This knight is in reverse. This tells me that you're not grounded. And so maybe you are experiencing depression. Maybe there's some real ungrounded anger that's sitting there as well. I mean, if you're feeling this state of unworthiness right here, well, who made you feel unworthy? Where does that come from? We're not born in this world feeling all this shame. There's a lot of shame here that you're feeling, that you're holding on to. And that's why you feel so lost. It's because it's weighing you down. And so what needs healing here in order for you to release this unworthiness, release the shame? Maybe if there's depression there, what needs healing here? Well, there's the Lover's card in reverse sitting in your shadow. So what is the Lover's card? The Lover's card speaks about, these two elephants here. They're almost like a spitting image of themselves. It's two halves of the one person, and then you got the third eye in between here. And so the Lover's card for me talks about when, and it's in reverse because it's not in balance for you, but the Lover's card talks about when your masculine side and your feminine side, has nothing to do with gender, we all have a masculine and a feminine side, become equal, become in balance. And so that got out of balance for you when you were younger. So I think that's why you're really lost here, because there's some real balance that's needed here. That, the balance of, your feminine side is your intuition, is your authenticity, and having clarity about who you are, and your creative side. And then you've got your masculine side, which is your ego self. And it's your mind. It's thinking. It's the part of you that is still convincing yourself that this is who you are. And so I'm going to say you're very much in your head right now, in your mind. And if you hear these things on repeat, like, who do you think you are? You're not worthy. You can't do this. All those things those belief systems that people told you when you were younger. That's your mind. That's your ego self repeating these things from when you were younger. And that got out of balance when you were younger. And that comes when we're told, when we're handed this shame at a very young age. That's when we really go up in our head and we get out of our body, because shame is a big emotion for a child to feel. And so our ego self will pull us out of our body and put us up in our head, because there's no emotions here. The emotions are in our body, and there's a real call for you in this reading to get back in your body, like I said, and feel, and that's when you're going to get in touch with your intuition. And so how did this get out of balance? Well, you have the Two Swords here. The Two of Swords is just the beginning of the sword suit. And the sword suit talks about our authenticity, one thing, but it's also about, those mental belief systems, those mental thoughts that we were told about ourselves. And look at you when you were younger. Look what you did. You took those swords, those things these are things that people started telling you about yourself that weren't true. And it really made you put on a mask, right? A blindfold of who, the person you thought you were. Well, you were told, no, that's not you. That's not good enough. That person's not good enough. And look at all the emotions in the background. They're flowing, but you don't even see them. You're not allowed to have these emotions. You're too young to feel these big emotions. And so these these things that people told you were very painful. And so you put a blindfold on and you crushed your heart. That's how, when you were very young, that's just the beginning of, that self-love that we're talking about. Being in your body. That's self-love, is being in your body, feeling your authenticity and who you are. And then you have the temperance card here. And the temperance talks about, feeling your emotions, that middle ground. Talks about being able to feel your emotions. Look how that angel dips their toe in the water, right? Just a little bit here and there, but you know what? You weren't allowed to when you were younger. You weren't allowed to feel those emotions and dip your toe in the emotions whenever you tried. You tried. This is you trying to dip your toe in that emotion in the water, and you were trying. Well, maybe put those emotions away. You're not allowed to get angry. You're a crybaby if you were crying, and so yeah, you very much were up in your head because you weren't allowed to use your emotions, and so like I said, your feminine side got really out of balance where you put your emotions away, and so your masculine side took over. Your ego self took over your mind. And so what does the tarot suggest now for you to start reconnecting to yourself? Reconnecting to your intuition, right? Well, the first thing is this Knight of Swords comes in here. And this is the second Knight. Now we got the Knight of Swords, your authenticity. Well, this is the Knight, that one that wants freedom. This is the one that wants freedom to have authentic relationships, right? This is the Knight that wants the freedom for authenticity. It's the one, this freedom fighter. It's the part of you that will die. There is a part of you that will die for authenticity, and it wants the freedom to be who they are. And so I think that there is a very ungrounded part of you that maybe is really angry. Maybe you have some ungrounded anger. And you know that you have some ungrounded anger. A few things here. One, when you don't express your anger at all. There's something like, nope, I don't get angry. There's some anger in there. And also when you spew out, when you get angry at people for the wrong reason and the wrong time, well, that's definitely some ungrounded anger there. And so you have this part of you that's really angry because, you were shamed when you were younger and you've got this unworthiness. And so I think that's really important for you to get in touch with that ungrounded anger that wants nothing more than to go out there. And I think there's a part of you that wants to break all those rules, that just wants to be free, right? Just let me go. But instead, you're feeling like you've just lost your way. And that's sometimes when the depression can get set in. But there's some real big emotions that are wanting to be felt right now. And you have the Tower card. Did I say it was the Tower? I think I would have said something about it earlier. I think I didn't realize that this was the Tower card that came out for you. And so the Tower card's big. It's like, I want to say that, the Tower card to me says, this is how big it is. This is how important it is for you to get in touch with this ungrounded anger. It's so important because it's going to bring about major change in your life. That's how big it is. Because when the Tower card comes out, and it does not come out often, especially in an upright position, it is the card where the universe literally will bring a baseball bat to our head and say, listen, you have been told and warned over and over again. We've sent you all these red signs, but you didn't listen. So we're going to take this baseball bat because you have to change. Like, there's got to be some change here. And this is what this is saying. It's like, this is so important that you get in touch with this shame or this ungrounded anger that you have right now, because I think it's going to bring about a huge change in your life. It's going to be very significant. And it's almost like a warning here too that says, if you don't change this, there's a real tower moment that's going to come for you if you don't change it, because the universe wants you to change it, and it will sometimes bring about tower moments in our life. So that if you look back and you think of all the tower moments you've had already, you know, they're painful incidents here. And so it's asking you to do this yourself, to really get quiet and get in touch with, you know, get grounded and get still and feel the shame that you feel about yourself. The magician says, you know, there is a tower moment that could come out, but because this magician's sitting here behind it, it's like, you have everything in you. I know you don't believe this, because the magician card says you have everything in you. You have everything at your disposal. It's in reverse because you doubt it. I know that you doubt it. I know you don't think you can do this. I know you don't think that you can pull yourself out of this. But you can, Capricorn. You have everything in you. One of the messages that my own therapist, that I've been almost 9 years with now for my intensive healing, said to me right at the beginning, the first year I started working for her, and I'll never forget it, working with her. She said, you know, I wanted her to give me all the answers. Like, you probably want answers here. You want out of this. You want to know where to go. You want to know what your next step is. You want people to tell you. Maybe you've been asking people, what do I do? How do I get out of this? I don't know what to do next. You just know that there's, you know, some new direction for you. And she told me, like, she wouldn't tell me. She wouldn't tell me things. I asked her, I wanted her to be the magical wizard and tell me what to do. And she said, you have everything in you. And that's why there's such a real need for you to get in touch with your intuition, to get back in your body and feel these emotions, because that's where you're going to get your direction from. It's in you. It's not going to come anywhere else. It's going to come from you. And this is what this magician card is saying. This is all in you. You have the power to make this change, this huge change in you that's going to bring about huge change in your life. It's all here for you. And that's what the celestial card says. You know, you are being guided. It's all here for you. But you got to get back in your body and feel these emotions. I'm going to leave you with a grounding playlist on how to ground yourself, and also one on shame playlist. You can pick whatever one you want. There's an anger playlist I have too if you go on my other channel, Carole Cares. But you get to pick, Capricorn, what you want to start to work at. I think grounding's really needed for you right now. And remember that this is a journey. This is a process. It's a very difficult journey, your healing journey. But it's the most important one of your life. So take care, and I'll talk soon. Bye.